So after the win by Rayvon Foley and getting the Spartans on the board, they're going to try to keep the momentum going here at 133. It's Logan Griffin, the redshirt sophomore, in his first match of the year against Ben Thornton after receiving 2 points on that takedown at 133. The redshirt junior, 21-8 from Stoddard, Wisconsin. So Thornton gets on the board early and very quickly for the Boilermakers.
Ben Thornton looking to get back into the swing of things as he spent the last couple matches sick.
1 point escape there for Griffin. Thornton scored first for his 19th time this year. That's good enough for 62% of his matches so far this season. That takedown was also his 41st of the year. He's averaging 1.4 a match.
Very interesting choice by Griffin, wrestling from his knees.
Another shot there by Thornton. He's got a nice hold of that left leg as he continues to run him to the ground. A nice takedown there for Ben Thornton. And he gets the momentum back on the Boilermakers side with a 4-1 lead.
Looks like the Michigan State bench was kind of concerned about that takedown call. Maybe not. There's probably something to that a little bit. Looks like Coach Tony Ursuline talking to Roger Chandler from corner to corner, both pleading their cases with one another, neither one of them willing to throw a challenge brick, or at least for Roger Chandler to throw a challenge brick.
It's like a match inside the match, isn't it?
Very interesting to see. You don't see that very often, two coaches talking to one another.
I didn't really see much question there on that takedown. It seemed pretty clear cut to me. Maybe.
I don't know. It was pretty
I'm biased
close.
though, Hunter.
It was pretty close that they weren't going to get the takedown. I believe was probably the right call eventually, but he didn't really have control. He was in a good position for the takedown, but he didn't have control. So very interesting call that ended up going Thornton's way.
Speaking of control, Thornton continues to work here on top, adding to that running time now over 1 minute and 16 seconds. In what has been a very productive first period for Ben Thornton. You know, wrestling at 133 and normally following Luke Welch, you don't really follow a loss very often when you look at that record of Welch. So I wonder if that plays into this a little bit more like anxious to get out there and score some points and get the momentum back on your side.
Yeah, definitely looking to avenge the 125 spot and Luke Welch taking a loss. And let it be known, Raven, a very good wrestler. Raven Foley from at that 125 spot, a very good wrestler, the true freshman, 20-7, now 21-7 on the year. I would imagine that Luke Welch is going to have to keep his eye on him for the rest of the season, come Big Tens and come NCAAs.
And then as Purdue as a whole, that's a name to remember with years to come. I mean, what a bright future for the young kid, and showing his skill at such an early time in his collegiate career.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And same with Purdue. They've got Devin Schroeder coming in to take over that 125 spot. He's gotten some action after Luke Welch, who's taken the redshirt freshman. This is his first year not being a redshirt. So very bright spot on both of these teams' rosters in that 125 spot.
So with the score 4-1, the decision goes to Thornton. He's taken a long time to decide. He finally says, well, you know what, we're just going to go neutral.
Coach Tony Ursuline was telling him that he needed to make that decision. You could probably read his lips on your screen there as Thornton was looking to his side, looking to his corner to see what he should choose. Tony Ursuline telling him that it's his decision.
A lot of times you see Boilermaker wrestlers look over to Coach Ursuline, and a lot of times they get help on what to choose, but you're right, this time it was up to Ben. Little half shot there by Griffin, fought off by Thornton as they continue to wrestle. Again, Griffin, kind of a half lunge towards Thornton.
Yeah, that was an interesting shot. I don't know if that was an attempted shot, but it looked like he reached up, for the head, but went low.
Yeah. So nonetheless, no points scored yet. Thornton now, oh, he had a chance there to grab the head as they continued to kind of headbutt each other around the mat. It's getting a little physical out there here in the second period. Both wrestlers really getting antsy. If Thornton can keep his head in the mat, and as I say that, he called referee Jamie George calls a stalemate. And so with 48 seconds remaining here in the second period, I think it's just as important for Thornton to not give up points as it is for him to score points here going into the third. It will be Logan Griffin's decision to start the third on what he would like to do as far as neutral, down, or up.
Both of these wrestlers have been very quick in their approaches in this match. When they get going, it's a good 5 or 10 seconds that they're battling back and forth, trying to gain possession of one another. So I'd like to see that a little bit more, especially out of Griffin.
As we mentioned, this is Griffin's first match of the year. After in 2016-17 at 125, he went 17-11, and his season ended against Ben Thornton in the Big Ten Championships. Ben Thornton beat him 7-2. So the last time he was on the mat was against the same opponent in Ben Thornton, trying to go for that rematch and trying to get revenge on Thornton.
We have little explanation as to why he hasn't wrestled a match at all this year.
Can't really find anything on that.
Maybe that's why he was waiting to get that match against Ben Thornton and seek a little revenge.
It's always waiting for, huh?
Griffin doing a good job of driving on the shoulder.
As we saw, he fell right in front of us there, and he looks exhausted. And how much, I mean, you wrestle, I'm sure he's wrestled a ton in practice, but first time coming out here in a real match, you get into that third period, you got to start feeling the fatigue.
Yeah, because, I mean, you get good matches every day in practice, but when you get out on the mat and you're wrestling someone that's giving 110% and you're giving 110%, you get late into this third period, and you have to have real matches to really be prepared for these late third periods.
Thornton gets the 1-point escape here, score now 5-1. Yeah, you look at their lineup, and obviously we haven't been able to really follow Michigan State all year long, but you look at this 133, and the other option, Julian Saladona, redshirt freshman, he also is 0-0. So 2 guys in this class who haven't wrestled yet this year. Makes you wonder who's been handling the duties, doesn't it, Hunter? So 17 seconds remaining here in the third period. One last shot there by Thornton, trying to add some extra points if he can get his head out. 9 seconds remaining. He gets the 2 points for the takedown. A huge 2 points there, moves the score to 7-1 in favor of Thornton, and that's going to conclude the match. So Ben Thornton responds after a tough loss by Luke Welch. He responds for Purdue, gets them back in the win column, and gets the win at 133 for Purdue.